Welcome back. You're listening to Empowered Living, Life, the Truth, and Being Free. I'm your host, Steve Maraboli. For more information about A Better Today, our speeches, our programs, our seminars, and our live event schedule, please visit abettertoday.com or stevemaraboli.com. I get tons of feedback. Steve, when are you coming to my state? When are you coming to my city? Make it happen. I'm here for you all. Make it happen. It's about being a participant in all of this. And that's what this is about. We're talking about beyond just survival. Self-mastery and unlimited and endless success. I've been talking to you about discovering who you are, knowing your position so you can effectively handle your condition. Remembering that you first must know where you are before you can figure out how to get to where you're going. I touched on the 4 pillars of success. For more on that, visit the show that's about the 5 truths. And I talked about your environment. And I want to be real about that for a second because I get feedback. And I want to be real. Can we be real for a second? Truth is, you're here for a limited time. I remember talking to a Buddhist monk about this, and the monk says to me, he was talking to me about he was talking to me, I don't know, it skips my mind for a second. He was talking about impermanence, that's what it was. Impermanence. And when I was listening to him, and he said something that struck me, he said, Steve, well, just look around, Steve. 100 years from now, everybody you know will be dead. 100 years from now, everybody you know will be dead. Well, I said, well, thanks for the pick-me-up. But in thinking about what he said, he's absolutely right. You're here for a limited time to fulfill your purpose. What are you doing with that time? Are you spending your time attached to something that isn't attached to you? Are you spending your time worrying about something that isn't worrying about you? What's keeping you from growing? And I'm going to give you the real answer. You. There's nobody sabotaging you but you. There's nobody wishing you ill but you. It's a painful thing to know sometimes, but we got to be real. I'm 32 years old, and I've only got a while to tell you guys everything I know. And that's something that I have to tell you. That the greatest culprit in sabotage is you. The greatest power holding you back is your own unwillingness to go forward. It's not that you're being held back. It's that you are unwilling to go forward. We have to take responsibility. You got to cut away those anchors. You got to cut away those feelings that are keeping you back, those attachments to nothing. Attachment to things that don't even exist, and guess what? They probably never existed to begin with. And yes, you keep refining, improving, and shaping, and cutting away, and simplifying as you go along. That's what you do. That's what everything around you does. Why wouldn't you? I'm not on this earth to apologize to people who bring me down. I'm not on this earth to worry about situations that hurt my feelings. I'm not on this earth to do that. I'm on this earth to thrive. If I come across somebody who's mean-spirited and doesn't want to participate in the same world I'm participating in, have a great time, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to help you destroy. I'm going to be in the soil that's creating. I'm going to be surrounded by people who create. I'm going to be helping people who are ready to be helped. I'm going to be talking to people who are ready to listen. I'm ready to fulfill my purpose. Are you? I think you are ready to. Because you're ready to stop living the way you're living. You're ready to stop existing the way you've been existing. It's not about survival, it's about thriving. It's not about that. It's not about just getting by and scraping by. It's not about that. It's about abundance. There's abundance all around you. Why are you not participating in it? It's because you're not seeing things the way they were designed to be seen. It may be, can you just agree that maybe you're just not looking at your situation properly? I've been in some pretty crappy situations. My conditions change all the time, just like yours. But when I look at my situations that used to beat me down, I realize that what I thought was my situation was my training. And I realize that sometimes the greatest messages come from the greatest messes. It's been those most painful moments that have taught me so much. Those very moments I dreaded, I ended up thanking God for, and I'm telling you that your time has come. It's time to put to rest that victim mentality that keeps sabotaging your evolution. It's time to put down that anchor that hasn't been anchoring you down as much as you carrying it with you. You have to put it down and take responsibility and know who you are. Because when you know who you are, you realize that you are in the position to change everything. Your condition may not say so, but that's okay. It's your position. When Jesus, there's a story where Jesus comes and he appears to the disciples on the boat. And this is after he had died. And the disciples are on the boat. And Jesus appears to them. And he's standing over the water. And he says one thing to one of the disciples. He says, "Come." So here the disciple steps off the water and starts walking on the water. And then starts looking down and realizing he's in water and starts sinking, and then looks back up at Jesus and stops sinking. And when you realize what that story is about, the message there is as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus and realized his position, he was fine. But the second he looked down at his feet and saw his condition, he began to sink. Are you all listening to what I'm saying? Know that your position, you can do anything. It is when you think that you are your condition. When you think that your condition is actually you, not just something outside of you, your condition will always change, but your position is you. You are meant for greatness. Never accept anything but the magnificent. And although it seems like you're surrounded by everything but the magnificent, the second you stop being a victim of your condition and start being at one with your position, you realize that everything is magnificent, including you, and that you're ready to do more than just survive. You know that you're here to thrive, and you start following the 4 pillars of success, and you start understanding the 5 truths, and you start getting ready to live every day, not just exist every day, but live every day. Experience all each day has to offer. And then at the end of the day, when you put yourself to bed, you put the day to bed, and you awaken to a new day, you awaken to a new self. Conditions change, your position does not, and you embrace every single moment. And that is when you're alive. And that is when you are fulfilling your purpose. And that is the greatest blessing of all, when you have come in alignment with your purpose. You've been listening to Empowered Living, Life, the Truth, and Being Free. I'm your host, Steve Maraboli. Again, for more information about our Better Today, our speeches, programs, seminars, to join the Better Today community and let us know where you are, or to get our newsletter, please visit bettertoday.com or stevemaraboli.com. I want to thank the people at Voice America here in Tempe for being so nice to me, for having the studio ready, and I hope you all listening. We're out there. See you next week.